Oh, hey, welcome. We have a podcast. You should listen to it. Let us entertain you.
Yeah, we're gonna entertain you like this.
That's a little too much energy.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we're not doing accordion. We're gonna be nice and calm. I'm really bad at this. But yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Woo!
I did the thing again.
Almost. You caught yourself after 3.
Caught myself. It's okay.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Today is a very special episode. Now, this episode is aimed at the ladies.
First of all, welcome to Frogs and Grog.
That's true. I forgot about that. But this is a very, very special
this is
episode.
a special episode.
It's Valentine's Day. It's gonna be great.
You never thought us two single 20-year-old men would be talking about. Oh, yeah, like young adult men who are. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just making myself look worse.
This is why we don't have Valentine's this holiday.
Yeah. But we're gonna help you guys out. Or
Yeah,
girls.
we're gonna help you ladies out. So, a lot of people, a lot of men specifically, you'll see them pick up just a random stick on the ground, and sometimes they'll say something like, "This is a nice stick."
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know what that means, so we're gonna break it down for you today.
Also, really quick before we break this down, this is not this is not in violation of the bro code. This is totally fine. Women just don't understand this. We're just trying to help them.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
If
some
anything-
women do understand
yeah,
this,
some of them do.
and those are keepers.
Exactly. If anything, this will just make the women help you find sticks.
Yeah, they will literally help you collect sticks.
After this episode, they will.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna begin with what makes a good stick.
Yes.
Or should we begin with the history?
Well, I think what we should talk about are. I think we should talk about the best parts of a stick first,
Okay.
or
yeah.
else they're not going to understand why there's even history behind it.
Right.
We need to talk about what makes a stick good, and why we like sticks.
Okay, so there are many different sticks for many different purposes.
Exactly.
So I think the first purpose we can talk about and what makes a good stick there is campfires. Now, obviously, there are some things that will make a great stick, like it's not fresh or
Yep. It's got to be dry.
it's got to be dry.
You got to think about the 3 different sizes. You got your kindling, which is like your tiny ass shit, which sometimes doesn't even have sticks in it,
Yep.
right? But then you got your tinder. I think actually it's tinder then kindling. I can't remember.
I think it's kindling then tinder.
Kindling then tinder, and then
possibly
tinder, and then you got like the big
the logs all
and
that
shit.
stuff.
So, and it kind of goes up like that. Anyways,
So
it's important.
when considering what makes a good stick for campfires, you always got to consider the shape of your fireplace. So if
Yes.
you're doing it like an indoor campfire, you're obviously going to need something a little bit less long
Mhm.
so it can fit in there.
Yep.
But if you're doing like a bonfire, you're obviously going to want something a lot longer.
You hear that, ladies? Short ones can be good too.
That's true. That's
Anyways.
true. So when choosing a fire stick, you definitely don't want any cool sticks, and we'll get into that later. The cool sticks.
Well, actually, sorry. We have to clarify. Campfire sticks and fire sticks are different.
Yes.
So this is specifically campfire sticks. We'll talk about
Mhm.
fire sticks after
Yep.
we're done with campfire
And
sticks.
as a general rule, no cool sticks,
Oh.
quote unquote cool sticks,
No.
can ever burn.
Yeah, no cool
That's
sticks go in the fire.
that's wrong.
No cool sticks are burned in the fire.
Yep.
Holy shit, your dog scared me. Hi. Anyways.
Okay, so what makes a good campfire stick?
Mhm.
So we'll begin with the first class, which is kindling.
Mhm.
You want just something kind of small, really thin.
Mhm.
It will
Usually-
catch easily.
Usually it's bark, which counts as a stick because it comes from a stick.
Yep.
Yep.
You can also just use tiny twigs. That
Yep.
also works.
Tiny ass twigs. Pine needles.
Pine
work
needles,
too.
leaves.
The issue with some of those though is that they just burn so fast.
Yeah,
that
you need
sometimes they're just gone.
dried leaves, but you need a lot of them.
Yes. So also dryer lint's really important.
Yeah,
Dryer lint's not a stick, but it still
it can be
is in
used
this category.
for category.
The
The next one is gonna be the tinder.
not the app. Screw that shit.
Yeah, that one kind of sucked.
That one
But,
kinda sucks. I mean, they could use Tinder as Tinder and like get rid of it.
That's true.
They could burn
I like that
shit.
idea.
This one's like small.
Small sticks.
They're like-
they're bigger than twigs,
Oh,
but
definitely bigger
not
than twigs.
quite not quite as big as a log.
Exactly.
I think a log is realistically anything with a diameter, or I'm not exactly sure which is diameter, but
diameter is all the way across. Radius is half diameter.
Okay, let's go with diameter then. A diameter of about 2 inches, probably 2 or 3,
2 or 3.
That,
yeah,
depending on your fire.
Yeah, so
anything bigger than that.
Yeah, basically, after kindling, you just put anything that's just bigger than kindling. It doesn't have to be necessarily logs, because obviously you need some smaller stuff to keep it going as well.
Yep.
And then you work up to medium and larger things. But so you'll have logs, and then you'll also have just like medium sticks. Like if you think of like a good stick to hit someone with, you gotta have those two, which are usually like an inch and a half diameter.
Yep.
And we'll talk more about that too. And obviously, don't hit people with sticks.
Yeah, don't hit people with sticks.
But that's just how you classify it, as a hitting stick.
Yep, a good hitting stick. So the next is logs. That's obviously anything bigger than 2-inch diameter.
Yeah.
2 or 3-inch diameter.
Right.
And those are like what's gonna keep it burning. For logs, I would say there isn't really a good shape. It's just a log.
It's just a
realistically
big ass fucking log. Yeah.
So there's nothing like you can't have a good log like, oh, that's a good log.
No.
Sure, you can have situations where a good log is like if it's over the river.
The only thing
that's a good log.
That's a good log. Also, good sitting logs. Those are good
sitting logs. Yep.
But you don't carry logs because they're good.
Now there are certain cool logs as well.
Oh yeah.
Like if you find a hollowed out log.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
Any log that has to do with the redwood forest and like or like sequoia trees, those are always fucking cool.
Those are cool logs. Those are cool logs.
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll talk about fire sticks.
Yes.
So there's campfire sticks and there's fire sticks. Fire sticks specifically are for sticking it in the fire, just the end though.
Just poking the fire.
It's
like a fire poker.
Yep, it's a fire poker, but it's a stick. And it's these sticks you can also light the end on fire and then wave it around in the air.
Like a sparkler.
Yep. You're trying to like draw something, or also you get the end like ashy and then you write on rocks with it.
Yep.
That's another way to do it too.
Poke your friend's eyes out. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Fire sticks can range anywhere from medium to long length, though you can't have
short.
You can't have short, and you can't have anything super long.
Yep.
It has to be.
It has to be wieldable.
Mm-hmm. It has to be anywhere from like 3.5 to like maybe 5 feet max.
I think 5 feet's a bit
5 feet
long.
To maybe even 4.5 would probably.
Yeah, I
be
think
better.
4.5.
So 3.5 to 4.5 feet is the ideal range for a fire stick.
Yep, it's just long enough so that you can poke the fire without getting the heat on you or the ashes from the fire onto you.
Yep.
And it's just short enough that it's not like you tossing a spear into the fire.
Exactly. And then also a nice thing about the fire stick too, you can use it to move logs around if needed, or ashes, or also pick up stuff out of the fire that may have dropped,
like hot dogs, all that.
Yep.
Which is another type of stick we need to talk about.
Hot dog sticks. Yes.
They're in the same vein as fire sticks.
Yes.
So typically a good hot dog stick will have a branching.
It'll have like
branches, I guess.
It'll have a branch at the end. It'll be like a Y. It'll have a Y shape.
It'll look like a Y.
It'll have a fork.
Yep. And that's so you can put 2 marshmallows, you can put a hot dog on both, you can put obviously very important.
It's very important, I agree. If you don't have roasters, this is a lifesaver. I personally prefer hot dog sticks to roasters because it just gives it that wood flavor.
Yeah,
it's
pretty good.
It's just, it tastes like you smoked it, but also it's made with love because you had to carve. You had to find that stick, and you had to find that stick and all that good stuff.
Which is another part we need to talk about later: the finding of the stick. Yes, because I feel like that's also very important on determining a good stick. What's the next type of stick we should talk about? Because we've covered the basics of fire burning sticks.
So anything to do with fire, we've covered that. The other like classification of sticks is anything to do with imaginary weapons or walking sticks.
Weaponry or walking. So let's go with walking next.
Okay, walking sticks.
So walking, it'll vary depending on person. Obviously you want one tall, but not too tall.
Right. It can be like almost as tall as you, but like usually you want to stop around shoulder height.
Yeah, essentially anything that makes you feel like Gandalf the Grey is a good walking stick.
It's a good walking stick. It also can't be super fucking heavy.
Yeah,
too thick.
The top can't be so big that it's annoying to carry as well. Like it can't just arrow down.
You got to be able to sustainably carry this for a long amount of time.
And I feel like reversible it should be the metric on which we judge a good walking stick.
Oh
like,
yeah,
if you can reverse it and use it as a walking stick just as well, it's a good walking
it's a good walking
stick.
stick. Also, if you can use it as a bow staff as well, good walking stick.
Yeah, good walking stick. You also have to be able to support your body on it, so it can't be too dry,
Right.
but it can't be too wet.
It's got to be light and rigid and like strong.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that makes a good walking stick.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me like we don't know anything about actual like wood types. That has no play here.
Yeah,
it's just what you find.
Honestly, there are some good-looking woods.
Like. Oh yeah.
Realistically, there's great-looking woods.
There are some people who are super serious about it and will research wood for specific sticks. But like,
this is just general stick knowledge. Like, we're not delving deep into this. This is Sticks 101.
This is Sticks. Yeah, this is Sticks 101. If you want the master class for sticks, you're gonna have to come back.
Yep.
So, anyways, yeah, walking sticks had to be like shoulder height, reversible, strong, light, able to be turned to a bow staff,
rigid.
Yeah, you can't have a green one because they'll bend too much.
Yeah, they will not work.
But if you can break it over your knee, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So
that's a no-go.
Yeah.
It's even better generally if it has like a circle at the top, like Gandalf's staff, or like maybe like a stump up there or something. Yeah. Just something at the top. That way you know it's the top.
Exactly.
That makes it better, but it's not necessary.
Right. You can have a reversible walking stick. That's a nice thing. But if it looks like a walking stick, and if it has a top, that makes it better.
Yeah. Wizard staff equals good.
Exactly. Yeah, if you think you can cast a spell from it, it's a good walking stick.
Yeah. And we're not talking about Harry Potter shit.
Oh,
because those are twigs.
Oh yeah, that's a different classification of stick. You can get wands. That's fine.
Wands are, I would say, they're a subclass of weaponry sticks.
They still, definitely are a subclass of weaponry sticks. So.
Speaking of, we should move on to those.
Yes.
Because I think walking sticks we covered pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So weapon sticks, there's a huge range.
There's a lot of them.
Of good weapon sticks.
Mm-hmm.
My personal favorite is pronged. It's much similar to the hot dog sticks.
Yes.
But you can use it as a slingshot, a staff, pretty much anything. It's great.
Anything. Yeah, prong sticks are good. Sticks that feel like a sword.
Oh yeah, if they're long and straight,
yes,
it's really good.
But also they have to be light. Again, you got to be able to swing it really fast. And if you can hear the swoosh through the air, it's a good. If you can hear the
swish, that is a keeper stick.
That is a keeper stick.
You will take that stick home.
Yeah,
exactly. I guarantee you.
I have a couple sticks at home that have the good swoosh and are nice and light.
That good swoosh. I mean, like, if you go to like Walmart or anything and see the dowels in the section, those are some good sticks. I mean, obviously they're really flimsy.
Yeah,
but that's like kind of what you're looking for in a sword stick.
Right, a dowel is more. I think a dowel is more like a wand stick for sure. But like,
well, I mean like a long dowel.
Oh, okay,
like
long dowels. Yeah, that's fair. You definitely want to be strong enough to be able to hit something a couple times, not full force, but a couple times be able to withstand that.
And most of the time, you can't hit things full force, unfortunately.
Yeah, like you can have a rapier stick, which is like supposed to be like a little bit crazy. Yeah, and you can like have a duel with that shit. But actual sword sticks, like you trust this thing to be able to hit someone if you need to. You know, and it feels like you feel like you're holding a sword. Now, if you can find a great sword stick,
oh my god,
those things are insane. Because it's almost a walking stick, but just a little
short enough and lighter than a walking stick. Exactly. I would say because they're obviously going to be a lot heavier because it's a great sword.
Now, club sticks are a little different as well.
For a club stick, you essentially want a baseball bat shape.
Yeah, you want a baseball bat shape.
Obviously.
And obviously, it's only gonna you can't reverse this one.
Yeah, you cannot reverse the club.
It's got a heavy end. Now the club ones, you can really kind of go at it shit. Like,
yeah, you can
go to a tree, you can fucking hit
shit.
it. You can hit something.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good.
Freaking good. But you gotta be careful.
It's heavier than a great sword stick.
Yes, it is heavier.
It has to be heavier.
You have to be careful with these ones though, because they like to go flying out of your hands.
Yes, so. I think that honestly, green sticks, which means they're fresh off the tree, they're better for clubs.
I agree
because they have a little bit of give, so it doesn't just shatter.
Yes. If you're doing anything that's actually meant to hit someone or something, you want a green stick.
Yep.
But
bows as well.
Yeah. But if you're doing like Like if you're just swishing in the air, you want a dead stick,
Yep.
basically. Gun sticks are also a
Gun
big
sticks are a
weaponry one.
big one.
This one is kind of a similar to the hot dog stick where it's got a fork, but the fork specifically makes it look like a gun handle.
Yep. It looks very good.
I found a really cool one that looked like a sawed-off shotgun one time.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Shit, boom, 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 boom. Like,
yep. You can find some that look like submachine guns, all that stuff.
You can find stuff that looks like a revolver and pretend to be a cowboy in the Wild West. Like,
yep.
dude, if you find a gun stick, it's a good freaking day.
It's like, a good day because they're rare.
Oh,
I would say they're more rare than a good sword stick.
Yeah, sword sticks, like, they're fairly common.
I wouldn't say they're fairly common because you need a good straight one.
That's fair. They're common compared to gun sticks for sure.
But
like, it's a good fucking day when you find a gun stick, dude.
Yeah.
Gun sticks are so good.
Gun sticks are goated.
They really are, and you can even find them if like as RPGs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those ones they feel.
Those ones whenever
good.
it's just a big log with a branch sticking out. That's a good stick.
That's a good freaking stick. Anyways, those are all good. Also, whip sticks.
Whip sticks are nice.
Whip sticks
they have to
are
be
also
green,
rare.
otherwise they don't work.
Those ones have to be green.
I think typically that's like kind of weeping willow type trees,
or even like a vine or something like that. Almost like you can use pretty much anything as a whip stick. Whip sticks feel fun.
Yeah, whip sticks are awesome. The swish, the crack. So good
because you can hit trees with that stuff. Oh man, I'm just getting shivers thinking about it right now. Actually, like, you said the crack, and I was thinking it, and I was just like, oh.
It's funny. Like we're not playing this up. We're just generally excited about sticks.
We just actually like sticks. This is great.
And I feel like most men really like sticks too.
Oh yeah,
like you talk to anyone, and you're like, remember those sticks you would find as a kid? They're like, oh, those sticks, man.
Dude. Yeah, or if you guys find a stick together and you have an experience with sticks, you never forget that.
You're like, oh my god, dude. Remember that time with the sticks? And they're like, oh my god, that was such a good stick. Another class is hammer sticks.
Hammer sticks, yes.
Now, it's not necessarily just a stick. It has to be like a log that's on a stick, but it's cut properly.
These ones are really hard. I think these are honestly one of the rarest ones to find because not very many people when they're chopping up logs will leave sticks on a log.
Yeah.
Right? But if you find it and if it's either still fairly green or if it's like really fucking good connection, like you can actually hit shit with a hammer stick.
You can hammer stick it. Really,
you can actually hammer. I've used hammer sticks actually when I was camping to put stakes on my tent. I used a hammer stick. I found one. It was great.
Hammer sticks are legendary. They're like, it's like in Fortnite or those games. I don't play Fortnite.
It's a legendary class weapon.
It's a legendary class weapon.
Now, there's the hammer, but there's the Warhammer, dude.
Oh my god.
The Warhammer sticks.
Oh! Dude. Oh, another good one. The cane stick.
Cane sticks are actually
cane
really
sticks
good
are
too.
so rare.
They also
but they're
goated.
Rare.
We gotta make a stick tier list now.
We gotta make a stick tier list
based on rarity and like
and fun.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay, it's crazy to me that like so many dudes have the experience of like that's a good stick. Like it's just so funny.
Any of you guys hearing this podcast, you're gonna agree with us. This is
like I feel like this is like one of the most relatable guy things ever, and I'm glad we could share this with our female audience.
Exactly, this is a universal guy thing. Every guy will look at a stick and be like, "Damn, that's a good stick."
And I mean, even in the lumber store, like you're looking for some lumber, and you're like, "Oh my god, that's a good stick."
Yes, and actually, that is a classification of stick.
That's true, lumber. I feel like that one we shouldn't talk about in this one as much.
See, the only reason I think about like lumber, not actual like milled lumber and stuff like that, like people, I think about fort sticks.
Oh,
like shelter building sticks.
Oh,
you know, when you find those good freaking logs and sticks to make like a lean-to or an A-frame,
or even like a cabin,
or even
if you make a full cabin.
If you're out in the wild and you see a bunch of sticks and you're like, I can make a fucking cabin out of this, like you feel inspired to make a house out of sticks.
It's crazy.
It is the best thing ever. Like we've done wilderness survival stuff with Boy Scouts, and every time you make a solid shelter because you found some good sticks, it's so
You're like,
satisfying.
These are good. Like you find a log with a Y top, and then you find another log that fits perfectly. You're like, yes, everything's coming together.
It's all coming together. Exactly. If you've ever built a shelter and you found the perfect stick, you will
You
never
know,
forget
you
that.
know.
You never forget that.
You never
Yeah.
forget.
Oh man.
You never
Oh.
forget your first perfect shelter.
Exactly. Shelter sticks, so good. Even if you don't build shelters, you would look at a stick and be like, that'd be a good stick for like a lean-to.
Oh, the last weapon stick, wands. I mean,
wands.
It's
It's
for some people.
It's for some people. It's not for me.
I've never been like, oh man, this would make a great wand.
Now, like when I was younger, when my family was super into Harry Potter stuff, like I would get wand sticks every once in a while. We'd pretend to duel, and you'd Expelliarmus, and you'd throw your wand because someone else hit you with it. Yep. You're like, dang it! So you have to go run and find your wand and stuff.
Nowadays, wand sticks just don't do it for me.
But then also, like in the middle of those duels, you would get your wand taken away, so you just shoot them with a gun stick and you're good, right?
Yeah, the gun stick trumps.
Exactly.
By the way, like gun stick is in the weapon hierarchy. It's the best.
Yeah. Now, of the gun sticks, it's just debatable. It just depends on which ones.
I feel like it depends on your style.
Yeah, if you can find a lot of gun sticks, you can actually like play military without having to go out and buy.
Yeah, you could do it with the boys.
Yeah, you can do it with
the boys. Will be so down.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee.
Oh, dude, you don't need airsoft stuff. You just get a bunch of gun sticks and you're good to go. You know. Anyways, I don't know. Is there any other classifications of sticks?
Classifications of sticks.
I'm trying to think of anything else that there might be.
Well. I mean, there's obviously milled lumber. That's it's
Houses,
hard to classify that.
Yeah,
because there is some where you're like, oh my god, that is a good 2x4.
Yeah,
it's got the perfect amount of knots in it. It's got. Which is pretty close to zero.
Yeah, it doesn't have any warp to it.
Yeah.
The ends are cut nice and straight. It's exactly as long as it says it is.
It's not bumpy on the ends. That has to be, that's important.
That's important as well. But yeah, so if you can find a good 2x4, you feel good. And you can like hold that thing and like even if it's not
got
a
some
weapon,
heft to it.
Oh yes. Even if it's not a weapon stick, like it still just feels good to hold.
Yeah, you're ready to pounce.
Mm-hmm. If you've ever carried a large amount of like 2x4s, even 2x6s, like you just feel good.
Yeah,
you feel like
you feel the difference.
Oh yeah. I don't know if there's any other really like I'm trying to think. I guess this is kind of part of shelter building as well. But like if you find a good stick with pine needles on it for your shelter roof, like those are nice. But that's more like I think that's more leaf territory and needle territory than stick.
Yeah,
because
we might have to do a leaf one because leaves are good, but
leaves can be interesting.
You can find cool leaves.
Yes. Leaves aren't as interesting as sticks, though, for real. Okay, actually, the one we do have to do, though, is rocks.
Oh, yes.
Rocks
100%.
are another thing. And also, if you can, make the rocks and the sticks work together, it feels so
my god. You feel like a caveman, dude.
You feel like
it's
a caveman.
Crazy. And it feels good, though.
It feels good to
You're like, I'm about to go eat some raw meat.
Exactly. I'm about to put these canines to use, baby. Make this appendix work because we don't know what it does.
Literally, I think it actually is supposed to help digest vegetables or stuff.
I don't know what the appendix does. Apparently, people remove them, so I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I just work here, but. Anyways, those are the classifications of sticks. That's what makes them good.
We never talked about what makes a cool stick. A cool stick, I think that's just really anything with unique characteristics.
Yes.
I mean, like twisted wood, that's really a cool stick.
Anything that can be one of the sticks we described, or anything that just looks cool.
Yeah, that's a cool stick.
90% of sticks are going to be cool sticks, but only a small percentage of those can actually fit into the categories we described. Because a lot of sticks, no offense, they're just kind of useless. They're cool to have and to look at.
Like, oh man, that's a cool stick. Yeah. But there's not a use for it.
You don't really have a use for it.
It's not a gun shape, not anything. So it's just it just sits there.
You're like, it's a cool stick, but I ain't going to go to all the trouble of trying to turn it into something. Now, if you can make we forgot about spear sticks. I guess spear sticks, it's a
great sword, but longer.
It's a great sword, but longer. It's like a staff stick, but if you have a knife on you and you sharpen the end of that shit,
oh my god!
Don't get me wrong, you can't make them super sharp,
but you can go spearfishing with them
if you do it right. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. But anyways, spear sticks are also important because it also feels good to throw those things.
Speaking of spear sticks, so I think this is where we go to our history session. This is the backstory of why men are oh my god, that's a stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I heard this, but I heard that it's ingrained in our brains because we would find sticks that could help us protect against animals or other tribes back whenever we were still becoming not monkeys.
Yeah, when we were still very primitive, sticks were an important part of our culture, which is why weapon sticks are so fun, right?
Yeah.
And like most weapons, especially in like the medieval times, had wooden handles. You know, you had to find good handles for your weapons, and so a stick is an extension of yourself, an extension of a weapon.
Yeah,
and so
you really feel the soul of the tree. Like I that's how I feel whenever I
Mhm.
see a good stick. I'm like, that tree was amazing.
that tree was a good tree. It knew what
was up.
how to please a man.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to know how to please a man, go talk to a tree.
Yes. Literally.
Excuse me. Anyways, sticks are freaking cool.
Yeah. You ever want to impress your boyfriend? Listen to this podcast.
Dude,
Go out stick hunting.
go stick
like-
hunting for
Like
a date.
if you just suggest like, hey, want to go to the park and look for sticks? Your boyfriend's gonna be like, I am so down.
It's like, let's get some chow and let's go find some sticks.
Yep.
Like, that'd be sick.
That's gonna impress him.
Dude, that's a 10 out of 10 date right there.
Yeah,
That's
looking for sticks. And like you could even make a fire or anything,
Mhm.
and that would be fun too.
Mhm. You
like
can make a fire.
camping trip.
You can duel with the sticks just for fun.
Oh my god, he just brought in a cool stick.
See,
Let's go.
cool. Oh, I guess you can't see it, but this is like this is like a small club.
Yeah, it's like a small club or staff end.
Yeah, it's a
Is what it
staff
looks
end.
like.
This kind of looks like the end of Gandalf's staff. So like this, if you could tape, like, okay, it is allowed to tape sticks together if it looks good.
I think tying is better.
Tying is definitely better. I agree. If you could secure this to the end of staff, this would look sick as fuck.
Yes.
Or this could be some weird wand.
Knife.
Oh, we forgot about dagger
Knife
sticks.
Dagger sticks.
Yeah, both of those. They're also like short sword sticks. Those are important as well.
Yeah.
Because sword sticks, you want to go one hand or two hand. Great swords have to be two hand, but short swords are specifically dual wielding.
Yep.
You don't ever use one short sword stick.
Or katana stick.
Or
that's
katana
what
stick's
it
another
that's
good
what
one.
it counts.
Yep. Yeah. Or like also lightsaber sticks, very similar to a sword stick, but usually they're a little bit
Thicker on the
skinnier
handle
and thicker on the
skinner-
handle. Yeah.
skinnier.
Yeah, it just depends. Anyways, lots of different sticks.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, by the way.
Yes.
And if you ever need more romantic advice, just ask us on our X or Twitter.
Let's just say we're a little way though as Liz.
We're Rizzlers around these
Yeah.
parts. And that's why we're alone on Valentine's
that's,
every year.
that's why we're alone on Valentine's Day talking about sticks.
But here's the thing. I never lose anything, not even my virginity. Peace out.
Leaving so soon. Hope we see you next time.